That was a football atrocity, embarrassment, and if Roger Goodell had a soul, he'd be embarrassed. We went from Ian Book Club to Ian Book Sale at warp speed. Thomas, hit that intro.
G'day, it's Stevic from 12 Ninja here, and look, if you like American football, you should check out Saints Happy Hour podcast. I personally know fuck all about American football, other than it's a bunch of massive blokes wearing spandex, shoulder pads and helmets, running around with throwing a football. In Australia, you don't throw footballs. You punch it or you kick it, and there's no protection. They're all naked, and there's sharks and crocodiles fired out of cannons onto the field, and we all stand around and drink blood watching it. But if American football's your thing, you know what to do. Saints Happy Hour podcast. Stick it in your ear hole.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are live on Twitch. If you aren't, follow us on Twitch, and remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also, become an annual patron like Stuart and Devin and Clark and a bunch of other people did this week. Go to Patreon/Saints Happy Hour to get the best Saints podcast every day, and you get 2 months for free. We had 2 new Twitch subscribers since the last big show. Mike, Robbie9, and ELR979. They both subscribed with Twitch Prime. And last minute sub before the stream, Budrich with the message, Rip John Madden. He did a 4-month sub. Thank you, Budrich. Thank Mike, Roby, ELR. Thanks, guys. Speaking of which, December is almost over. You still have a chance to support the show for absolutely free if you use Amazon Prime. All you have to do is go to twitch.tv/Saints Happy Hour, click the subscribe button below the stream, and choose the option subscribe with Prime. It's really easy, and it's going to take you less than 5 minutes. I promise. That easy. Support the show. Hey, what is everybody drinking tonight? I hope it's something good, because last night you needed the good stuff.
I've got, this is actually perfect. This is perfect. My beer is called I Told You This Would Happen. It is a double dry hopped India Pale Ale. It is from it's a collab between Great Raft in Shreveport and Celestial Beer Works in Dallas. Oh no, go ahead. Zoom back in there, Thomas. Zoom back in there. Let them see this can. This is a cool can.
Wow.
Although I don't know if the lighting is good enough, but it's actually
Andrew,
pink. It's actually pink.
Andrew, are you drinking from your in-laws' closet?
Yes. I've got the good stuff in here.
Which is water.
That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Little concoction.
Yeah.
Little concoction. I'm actually going
There's
dry
water
in January because I've been drinking too
God.
much.
You go
We're
dry
not there
January.
yet, though. I still got a few days. I still got a few days.
Kevin,
up on
save us. What are you drinking? Are you drinking some sort of rye bourbon you bought off a cart somewhere in St. Louis?
Yeah, Redemption Rye. Rye. Well, no, you go, and then I'll.
I'm drinking Von Hausenfawn. It's some German beer. It's got a
Von Miller
little hat. It's really good, and it's in the mug, Saint Survivor mug, so it's 70% better. Kevin, what are you drinking?
No. So I'm drinking Redemption Rye. My roommates surprised me for Christmas and got me a bottle of whiskey. So
is that the same roommate that was crawling on the floor on the last show?
Yes. Yeah.
You know what, Thomas? I forgot to follow up with you. Do we have a screenshot of that for today's show?
Not for today.
Well,
but I have the timestamp.
Dave's beer was
the
most poetic because it was I Told You So. And that last night, it was a disaster and a travesty. And yes, it was a debacle. And Roger Goodell should be ashamed. But it did do something amazing with Ian Book starting. It did something amazing in this podcast history. It inspired Dave to sing. And Thomas went to work this morning as soon as the sun came up in Poland. He made us a little montage.
It didn't.
Of Dave's silky vocals combined with Ian Book's can I call them highlights? I don't know what you call them.
Lowlights.
But he
I think they're
merged
lowlights.
Ian Book's game and Dave singing. Thomas, hit that. It's amazing.
What is that in the sky? He can throw twice as high. Take a look. It's Ian.
Is
Book.
Ian
He's throwing
interceptions to the Dolphins?
Ian can throw anywhere. It's time to show how much he's grown. He's throwing rainbows. Ian can throw anything. Take a look. It's Ian Book. He's throwing rainbows.
Ooh, he's actually showing completions. What is this?
I know, what is this? There it is. That's a pick. Oh, and he ends with the sad, confused Ian Book face. Good work by Thomas. Dave, how long did it take you to throw
Dave,
that
you're
thing
really
together?
using your head range there, as they say.
Why do they call that head range?
When you can't actually hit a note and you're just like, like
That's what she said.
kind of,
I don't know all the technical terms. I'm
The head
more
range.
more of a natural talent, unpolished, if you will. How long did that take me? It did not take me that long. I just had to find a track of the Reading Rainbow song without the vocals in it, which took all of 2 minutes, and then thanks to this fancy Yeti, I could just record I just recorded
Silky
multiple.
smooth.
Yeah, I recorded multiple voice tracks. This was literally Christmas Eve day. I just woke up and for some reason I was like, this needs to be like recorded. Like I gotta, I always sing the song in my head ever since they've signed him. That those words have always kind of been in my head in the song. And it's like, I have some free time today. It's Christmas Eve. I'm not working. What the hell?
Can you tell me, like, is Aaron like in the room next door and hears you doing this, and is she like?
Aaron's brother and my sister-in-law.
It's time for
and their 3
divorce.
kids were all staying with us. So we had 5 kids. We had 5 people in the house.
So do you like announce like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing? It's really weird. Like if you ever hear me,
Yes.
like, do you kind of just like preemptively
Yes.
throw it out there at a caution of the wind kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, mainly because like if I just started singing and they heard me, they'd walk in and they would interrupt, and I'd have to do another take. So like,
Right, right.
How many takes did you do?
So can you
Maybe
talk
like
to
2.
us like you're them? How do you set it up? I'm just curious.
I say, hey, all right, look, guys, I know this is really weird, but you're gonna hear me singing the Reading Rainbow song in the closet. Except the words are gonna be different.
Because I love him.
It's gonna be about Ian Book, the guy that's starting quarterback for the Saints. Just don't freak out. You can laugh, that's fine, but just don't interrupt me. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them after.
And what's the reaction? Are they like, oh yeah, cool, no problem?
The reaction
or is Aaron like, what? What are you doing, Dave?
How long have I been doing? I mean, when I had the blog, I spent way more time with Canal Street Chronicles and devoted way more time with that
Yeah.
than I do with this. Like this is a minor
Oh,
time.
thank you, Dave. Thank
You're
you. Tell
welcome.
that to the people.
You-
You don't
No,
slave
hey,
as
man,
hard
hey,
as
she
you-
must-
my
You must enjoy the fact that
No,
you
no.
only have to give up one evening.
my participation in this podcast is limited. Andrew and Ralph's do this all day, every day. In fact,
It's still less time than I spent blogging, by the way.
right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But anyway, my wife has been doing this for a long time. So her reaction is just she rolls her eyes and she
She's like,
turns
"Oh,
around
there
and
we go."
moves on about her day.
That
That's what
sounds a
I
lot
react.
like my wife.
Fucking stupid.
I would
Wake
assume all of our wives and are all probably.
Yeah, my wife, she's like,
They can
what do you
have a
mean?
support-
You have to do a podcast on Monday night after the game? You have to do Tuesday and you have to do Spotify on Wednesday? What is this bullshit?
Holy shit, I feel seen right now. I feel seen.
Yeah, I know. It's like
I think
deja
that's
vu all over
verbatim.
again.
Yeah, I think they should probably
Yeah.
start a support group.
Kevin, I was
Maybe
trying
the
to...
woman that broke into Kevin's house can join them.
I still think at least for our patrons as a daily, we need to have a show where it's Selly, Elizabeth, and Aaron that
And they
just
just-
do a show
Yes,
and they just
yes.
talk about us
That would
and
be
bash us.
freaking gold. Look out!
Yeah.
Look out, Les
I would
East.
listen to that.
I
Yeah,
would.
Look
My-
out, Les East.
My wife.
By the way, the
she could
Saints
be
don't
like
play
2 hours long.
If the Saints
Got
don't
a
want to play,
list.
if the Saints don't want to play meaningful football on Monday, then we're not going to do a meaningful podcast for you.
I refuse to talk about that game. Just so
we're
you
just
know,
going to continue talking
I'm
about
done with
ourselves.
that. I'm
Yeah.
done with the Monday night game. I've moved on. You know, like it's behind me now. It's like it didn't happen.
Cincinnati.
Yep. On to
Kevin,
Cincinnati.
Hey,
Can you
listen,
think-
here's the thing. I will join the Daily Wives podcast. I'll get a wig. I'll get a long wig on, and I'll wear a tank top or something, and just try and fit in. Like just some.
that's
gal
not allowed.
talk,
I don't think that's
I'll get-
allowed anymore, Kevin. I think
get a
you
coffee
can't
mug.
do
Yeah,
that.
that's
and I'll just hold it like this.
you can't do that anymore.
You can't do the Peter Scolari
It's
bosom
not very.
buddies
It's
thing
not
anymore.
sensitive.
Uh,
It's too
Kevin,
bad we can't. It's too bad we can't invite the doctor. Since
Oh man, really?
the Thomas, the violin. No. Anyway.
The sad violin is the right segue for this, Kevin.
Apropos.
Sorry, Kevin. Sorry.
Kevin, I was trying to. It never gets old. Like I think we should just do a whole podcast. The sad violin just looped in the background. Kevin, I was trying to think of a quarterback in Saints history that our optimism and our dreams and our delusions of him being good went so bad, so fast, as quickly as Ian Book on Monday. I couldn't come up with a name. Can you
All
think
right.
of a Saints quarterback that it just was like, oh God.
Well, hold on. Before, because
Keith
Ooh, that's a
Schuler.
good one. That's a good one.
wait, I just want to say, because we did the podcast last week on Monday, and that was before all hell broke loose. So I never even got to air my feelings on Ian Book because that news was announced at the 11th hour.
That's right.
But
Does it void, or do our picks get voided because of the coronavirus?
I think this whole season of we'll talk about the prediction. I am so fed up with this prediction contest. This is the most ridiculous thing. I'm making a prediction today, and I'm like, I don't even. I'm picking an MVP or a turd, and I'm like, how do I know they're even going to be playing in this game? What the
Why
hell?
is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
But if I was on any podcast last week knowing Ian Book was going to be the quarterback, what I would have said, and I don't think this is an incredibly novel idea, but I don't care what Ian Book did yesterday. I don't care how good or bad he looked. I don't think it's fair to judge him given the circumstances, given the fact he's, this was like a preseason game that you're playing against one of the hottest teams in the NFL.
Kevin, we can judge
there.
him. We can
No,
me and
no,
you.
that
We
was
can
not-
judge him.
Look, I mean, he, like the interception, unless that was a miscommunication and the receiver ran a wrong route, which I probably doubt it was. The interception, yeah, that's on him. Some of his other bad passes, yeah, that's on him. But he also didn't get help from his receivers, his tight ends or whatever. And he was also on his ass 8 times, like I just saw you talk about with Sheba Turk. He was on his ass for 8 of those dropbacks. I mean, it's like it's not fair. Like he made some good. I thought there were a couple of good plays. He made some good plays, but regardless, to me personally, he's got a clean slate, a blank slate. He's still pristine and virgin and
Kevin,
and void of
Hang on a second.
original sin.
Wait a minute. We can't. You can't. You only do that once, kids. You only the cherry is popped only one time. That's it. You can say you're not going to throw a bunch of blame on him and that maybe Ian Book doesn't deserve all the derision that he's probably been getting on social media today.
He just got sacked again, by the way.
Sure. And he'll probably get sacked 2 more times before this damn podcast ends. But
Is that all?
you can look,
Be a
you
short
can
one.
say, well, I'm hoping we stay under an hour this time, Juge.
Good
you
luck
can
with that.
say
Good
say
luck,
he
yeah.
played poorly or terribly or whatever adjective or adverb you want to use. But the team, the offense was a complete clusterfuck. Like you can write almost any
Look
of
at
that
the
off.
line. It just caved in. The line. Continue.
You can write
Kevin.
any of that off.
Watching these
So
highlights.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice how Kevin's ears perked up when the words Sheba Turk were uttered? Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Hey,
I had fun today with Sheba and Jade. They were good
that
sports
was
today.
yeah.
At
I
6:30 in the morning.
I think Kevin is jealous.
I started watching it right before we went live here tonight. I mean, yeah, Sheba was cutting up everything you said.
It was the most fun. It was amazing. I wish I could do it with them every week. They just let me run wild. It's like doing up. Kevin or Andrew, this was what we expected. Like, this offensive line, it was horrible. Cesar Ruiz, he blocked as many people last night as I did. I counted like 4 times where, like, on a play, he just like stood around and, like, I don't know, like, if he was confused or like whatever, but it was the line was as bad as I've ever seen it. I can't remember the last time a Saints quarterback took a beating like that.
Yeah, they're down a lot of tackles. Obviously, I thought Kalen Beninock, or however you say that, was a disaster, a tire fire at right tackle.
Like
the whole right side of the lineup. Yeah. Well, Cesar Ruiz is
busty.
I'm starting to wonder if he's not fit to be the right guard for the Saints.
So
You think?
Here's the thing.
We complained about Andrews Pete, and like, how stupid do we feel now?
Yeah, we do.
I would kill for Pete right now. Ruiz is so much worse than Pete. It's not even funny.
Well, here's the thing. Sean Payton, he knew what was up last night, and after the game, he just admitted that it was kind of hopeless. Thomas, play that soundbite.
I think we understand our team. We had 2 players today getting fitted for equipment in the locker room, in the equipment room that had just arrived. I think we have a good idea of what this team's capable of doing. Hopefully we can get some guys back here this week and be ready to go for next week's game.
I mean, he's chuckling, Kevin, but isn't it that simple? Like, either the Saints, they get healthy, they get people back off of COVID. Oh, and by the way, Kevin, feel free to bang on the NFL and Goodell. They changed the COVID policy today from 10 days to 5 days. Thanks a freaking lot, NFL.
Well, the CDC changed the COVID policy yesterday. And
before
of course,
kickoff, like 3 hours before kickoff.
Yeah. So that wouldn't have mattered. I mean, look.
I want to yell at Goodell. That's what I want.
No. I'm all about.
You just want an excuse, man.
I'm all for it. I'm not saying not to. What the NFL should have done was push the game back. But, we need to run a Monday night game. Okay, we'll do it. Oh, it's going to be the Saints and they're going to be down 22 men? Whatever. Not a big deal. Stan Verrett tweeted out about it earlier that all that does is give Saints fans more fuel that the league
hates us.
Either outright.
I did not have Peter King,
or doesn't give a shit. And when King, when water carrier in chief, Peter King, when the guy who will absolutely
that's what got him. That's what set him off.
When the guy who will scrub Roger Goodell's balls vigorously to make sure they are pristine and as shiny as Dave's head right now, when he even questions the legitimacy of the league allowing the Saints to field a team of fucking guys that came off the street, they could have picked any of the 4 of us. There's an argument to be made that this was not on the up and up. That this was just shy of a fix. Just shy of a fix.
First of all, I loved it when Ralph realized he finally said the right thing to set you off on
I know.
a little
Well, Kevin,
tantrum.
now that Kevin's been back a few weeks, I'm like the batting practice pitcher. I know where to throw the ball where he likes it so he can hit it out the park. It's just
Right.
you just got to get back in rhythm. Dave.
But second of all, I'm listening to Kevin and I'm thinking, like, imagine if it was like another sport, and like imagine if it was basketball, and you know two of your starters and two of your bench guys are out. I mean, I don't know, like, what kind of team would you field? Or baseball? What if half
I
of
would
your
say, Dave, it
half
would
of
need
your
to be more in
bullpen is
basketball. It
out
would need
with
to be
COVID?
it would need to be a basketball team of like 6 guys because the Saints inactive list was one dude. It was Teron Armstead. He was
Right.
the only person inactive yesterday.
Right.
By the way, did his leg fall off for him to not play in that game? But one final thing on Ian Book, Andrew, and
Throwing rainbow.
I want you to comment on this Sean
Why
Payton
is that quality
soundbite.
so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
Sean Payton, in this soundbite, he was asked about Ian Book, and he specifically compared last night to a preseason game. Thomas, play that soundbite.
And I think he prepared well. I just think that it's one of the challenges sometimes that can take place even in the later part of preseason games where you want to try to evaluate, especially at the quarterback position, but just keeping him upright tonight was a challenge. And I'm sure there's some plays that, we'll look at, and he'll look at. The first interception, was a throw he'll want back, but it's a tough position for him to be in.
Andrew, doesn't it come down to this offense? Not that it can be great, not that it can be good, but doesn't it come down to they have to get offensive linemen back, whether it's Armstead, Ramczyk, Mills, whoever. Like this offensive line, they have to get guys back, or the last 2 weeks is going to be more like last night, no matter who the quarterback is.
Yes, yeah, I think that's the case. And yet, I don't want to give Ian Book a pass. I mean, he's a rookie, and it was a terrible situation. He was unprotected, and yet he was awful. I think it's okay to say that. I think it's okay to say he played terribly. And I do think that there were some plays that could have been made that weren't because he was awful. And that's not to discount anything about the offensive line that was terrible. The fact that his receivers aren't good, that they weren't able to run the football. So like that all plays into it. But like Ian Book is not like, he doesn't get a pass here. Like I don't really want to see him again this season. Do you?
No.
Yes, I do.
I'd be
Really?
willing to. I'd be
Yeah.
willing to.
Ooh, Lord.
I would be willing to.
You want to know
No,
why?
thanks.
Would you rather?
I would
Ian
rather
Book
see
or
Trevor
Blake
Simmons.
Last
Bortles?
night's game was an
I would rather
absolute-
see Trevor
It was an
Simmons.
absolute schmortion of a quarterbacking performance. Okay, it was a total abomination.
I
But it was
feel
a total
like-
abomination across the board on offense, and you had 22 players missing due to COVID protocols. You had a bunch of people that were out.
Right.
I would like to have seen Ian Book play earlier in the season as well, when there were at least more guys around, more regular starters. I would like to see Ian Book play when there are regular starters. Now,
I think
he's not ready.
Blake Bortles.
Now,
He's not ready.
But if next week rolls around and the Saints only get back like a handful of guys at best, I don't want to see Ian Book. I would much rather see Taysom Hill try and do whatever the hell they're going to do with him. Because
Here's my
Ian
thing
Book-
about Ian Book. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, Ian Book with this weak ass roster can't do shit.
Yeah.
There was
just
no-
can't.
that's fair because there was no.
This is
You're not
Taysom Hill-
putting-
Taysom
you
Hill
are not
can.
putting him in a position to succeed. You're not putting him in a position.
I
to
agree,
succeed.
and yet I saw Taysom Hill run for a 44-yard touchdown. I've seen Taysom Hill run for 100 yards. So like,
That's why I said let Taysom play next week.
yeah,
then.
yeah. I just think the biggest, besides the fact that this was doomed from the start, the biggest disappointment for me is like, don't turn the ball over. That's like your only job, really, is don't turn the ball over. He throws a pick 6 on his second pass. So, I mean, it's just like, what are we doing here, man? And, like once you get to a point in the game, and in the Saints, this is about the third quarter, I would say when Adebo got beat deep on that 40-yard pass, that was when we reached the stage of, all right, this game is lost. So now it becomes about, I'm watching individual players. And it's just like, who's impressing me, right? At no point in this game did Ian Book show me anything. Like, I never saw raw talent that got me excited. Like, man, that was a rope he just threw. Or, man, he's really he escapes pressure really well. Or, man, he's showing a lot of moxie here. Or, man, like, that was good heads up recognition. Like, he was taking sacks when he should have thrown it away. He was throwing it away when it was 4th down and he should have tried to push it down the field. Like, the situational awareness was horrible. The IQ was horrible. I saw no arm talent. I saw no ability to escape pass rushers. I saw nothing that got me excited, even from just a raw talent standpoint.
I think Andrew just destroyed the book club, Dave. He just destroyed it completely.
I'm not. And look, players can get better. Like, I'm not saying it's hopeless. Like, he'll never be good, but it's just like he's not ready. I don't want to see him again this year.
Well, okay. See,
somebody in the chat,
wait.
And find me the quarterbacks in Saints history that started one game, and I want to.
Where's Budrich?
Budrich, find me the quarterbacks that started one game.
All right. Well,
Doug Nussmeier.
Doug Nussmeier. Yeah, that's true. He was.
Maybe that's gonna be the trivia, Ralph.
Dave.
No spoilers. I mean, well, Ralph, you asked the question, and I said yes. I want to see him. 2 reasons. 1, I want to keep playing the song, and then 2,
it's all about you all the time.
Again, 2, to Kevin's point and to my point, and look, I agree with Andrew. I don't really think Ian Book is going to be the guy. I don't really think he's got much of a future, but I do see Kevin's side of it, and I said it earlier. He gets a pass on this game. I know you disagree, Andrew, and that's fine. By the way, a lot of people were upset you weren't there last week because I had nobody to argue with and disagree with.
Solve your problems with aggression.
Nussmeier had 2 starts.
2 starts.
But at the same time, like, look, trying to get into the playoffs aside, because I know there are some really lunatic people out there like Ralph who are just really, really want to make the playoffs.
Dude, Dave, all I need to do is win out and San Francisco lose one game and they're in.
Disappointed. But, all that aside, I would like to see Ian Book with more people back, off COVID, healthy, and give him a second shot, and then that's gonna put an end to it, because he's probably gonna wind up showing very little, and then all those people who are now saying, like me, he didn't really get a fair shot. He didn't play with the ones. He didn't play with starters. Well, just shut us up. Let's just throw him out there. Let's end it. Let's not go into the offseason. Let's not go into the offseason thinking that maybe Ian, let's put that to bed now.
Exactly.
And save ourselves 6 months of talking about whether Ian Book is good enough for him.
What about
Dave,
Blake Bortles?
We have 2 games left. If Taysom comes off COVID,
you play him. Yes, we're trying to get a playoff spot. Yes.
Okay, and if you win that game and then you go to Atlanta,
you keep
play Taysom again.
Assuming you're still in it. If you're out of it, fuck it, put Book in.
Well, it's impossible for the Saints to be eliminated this week.
Oh, it is? Really?
Yeah. They can't be eliminated.
No, Ralph's pants just got tighter.
Well, unless they lose. If they lose.
Isolate that sound. Isolate that sound.
I'm sorry, I should rephrase. If the Saints win.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
If they win, if they win,
they cannot be eliminated this week.
I spent so much time on the playoff simulator today.
It's ridiculous, Ralph. It's ridiculous. It's like, we all want to. Actually, I don't even know if I want to make the playoff.
What?
I do want to make the playoff. I do want to make.
I want Brady a third time, baby,
because it's not going to be a home game, so I won't have to pay for a ticket to go to a game. So fine, go ahead. Let them make the playoffs. They're not going to make any noise in the playoffs.
They could beat Tom Brady a
like
third
a small
time.
Baby.
Was that me?
That was you.
like a small
Here,
baby.
no, but that's a great segue to topic number 4 on the rundown.
Wait, did we not?
The defense is awesome.
I
This
thought we were
defense
talking
can win a
about-
playoff game.
I thought we were talking about Sean Payton. We never talked about Sean Payton, and I got stuff.
That
about
was
Sean
20
Payton.
minutes ago.
Well,
No,
go
that was
ahead.
Not that. No, that was not 30.
Go ahead. What about Sean Payton? What did you want him to do?
I was disappointed. And look, I love Sean Payton. He's my coach. I don't want anything to happen to Sean Payton. I don't think he should be fired. I don't think he should be reprimanded. I don't think anything should happen to Sean Payton. I am disappointed. I felt like, given the situation, and we all know, they obviously knew the situation going into the game. Sean Payton, obviously, by that soundbite you played, he knew what was happening. I've heard you guys on the post-game press conference, on the post-game.
You wanted your boyfriend to get more carries?
This should have been the blueprint for this game for the Saints should have been identical to what the Patriots did to the Bills on that Thursday night game or whatever that was, where Mac Jones had like 3 pass attempts by like late in the fourth quarter. Okay. You know, Ian Book is not a great quarterback. You know, he's not the guy. You know, you have no wide receivers. You know, your offense is terrible. The only thing they were doing well last night was running the ball. Ingram and Kamara were both at least 4 yards per carry. They should have just look up the stats. I looked them up before. I wouldn't spout stats like that without actually looking them up, okay? One of them was 4.3, 4.5 yards a carry, and the other one was exactly 4 yards a carry, okay?
Dave,
Look, you can.
Dave, are you
Dave,
saying
this is why stats
Are you
lie.
saying that the Saints' game plan should have been identical
Yes.
to the Patriots' game plan from a week before?
They should have just run it down their damn throats. They had nothing to lose. Everybody knew. And don't tell me that the coach didn't know. They had no chance in this game with Ian Book and not practicing and all the other crap and all the other garbage that's happened to this team and this week. They had no chance. At least they should have just run the damn ball. Just keep running it and running it. Whether it works or not, it doesn't matter because you're not going to win. He came out here with a normal game plan. Like Ian Book was just a normal quarterback. Like this team was in a normal state of affairs. It was absolutely not. This was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. You can't, like when really you should have just cut the corners off the square and just slid it in that hole. Like you have to just, you got to be more creative. And this was
Dave, you need to get that shirt. Run the damn ball.
This was
You have to be less creative, is what you're saying.
I guess, but this was an unusual situation, and it was a desperate time, and it required desperate measures. And I don't think that enough measures of desperation were taken.
I think they would have done what Miami did, Dave. I think if they would have run the ball 40 times, they would have run the ball 40 times for 90 yards. Like Miami wasn't.
It doesn't matter, but you know what? You don't have the pick 6 by Ian Book, and maybe you're in the game at halftime, and then
they were in the game anyway. It was 10-3.
Exactly. You limit you could have limited your. It just makes no. I felt like. I really thought coming into this game that they were going to be really, really run heavy. I couldn't believe, even at the worst, even if your game plan isn't going to be run heavy, I can't believe that you come out and you have Ian Book slinging it on the second play of the game. How are you not going run, run, run? How are your 10 first scripted plays or 15 plays? You should be pretty run. Let him get comfortable back there. I couldn't believe that was the game plan. I was very surprised. Like it was almost like Sean Payton was like, I'm doing it my way, and these guys have to fit into the way I do it. And I think, at least for this game, because it was such a desperate time, I think he should have said, you know what? I got to work with what I'm given. I'm going to have to change. For this game, at least for this one game, I'm going to have to be the one that changes.
Andrew, how much of that was he just didn't trust this offensive line to do shit?
The other thing
Moving
too
on.
isn't I'm not an X's and O's tape guy, but isn't it easier to run block than it is to pass block? Don't offensive linemen prefer to run block, and just go downhill and just keep pushing instead of being in defense mode? I mean, isn't that easier for an offensive line? So you've got a banged up offensive line, and you could have made it easier on them too if you just kept running the ball.
Andrew, thoughts?
Depends
Solve your
on the
problems
player.
with aggression.
Depends on the player, but generally speaking, yes.
I mean, it.
I'm going to
Was
get a beer.
it-
You guys discuss.
It was.
Fuck that. Let's go.
Well, Kevin, I think it was one of the worst performances, not only of the Sean Payton era on offense, maybe the worst performance, one of the worst performances we've ever seen. How much? And Thomas, by the way, we're skipping that. We're going to talk about the defense. We're going to flip 4 and 5. But Kevin, I feel like Kamara, he got his towel snatched, and he was out. He was checked out. Like he got. They snatched his towel.
He
and
made a
got.
series of business decisions. He made a series of business decisions.
Look at that! Oh,
and I
he
don't
got the
blame the
towels.
guy.
I mean,
I really don't blame the guy.
that's
I
fighting
can't.
times
I
there.
can't. He was the only positive thing in the entire game. And the Dolphins defense
Look at it! Just
finally
swiped the towel.
finally took the man's spirit.
Holy
He
shit!
took
That
the
is
man's spirit.
that's CD Deuce level taunting.
Exactly.
I mean, that's like
Exactly.
that's like the Bears guy. They pat him on the head. I mean, you can't. Is that as disrespectful as your boy Talib snatching you guys' chain from the
No.
Raiders? Michael
No.
Crabtree?
No.
Twice?
he
No.
did do that twice. I mean, I don't know. I don't think, Andrew, there was, I get what Dave is saying. He wanted something different last night, but I don't think there was like a correct solution for the problem that Sean Payton faced last night. I just think like sometimes
I find it so annoying when I hear fans talk about Sean Payton and they're just like, I hate the play calling. Like, what's the play calling? Like, what are the plays that you would run when you have Ian Book at quarterback and Cesar Ruiz as your right guard and Caleb Benenoch as your right tackle and Throckmorton
Sounds to me
as
like
your
you
left
would
guard?
run the ball. It sounds to me in that situation you should be running the ball.
Well, hey, it could be worse.
I think you're doomed from the start, regardless of what you do.
I mean, it's not like we have a Bears media guy, a Bears blogger,
oh my God, the Bears
suggesting that Sean Payton wants to leave every time that something bad happens with the Saints.
I didn't have the Bears lusting for Sean Payton on my 2021 bingo card. That is a weird.
Well, first of all, Ryan Pace. So shame on you. You should have that on your bingo card. And second of all, the Bears aren't lusting after him. Just some
Twitter,
random
Bears
some
fans
random
are.
dude got the Bears Twitter to start lusting after him. You always want what you can't have, right?
Yeah. Speaking of things that we wanted but we couldn't have, Dave, that was a defense when the Saints had an offense between 2014, 15, and 16. Now they have a championship level defense that I think can win them 2 games. The defense was phenomenal yesterday. They only gave up 10 points because 3 on the pick 6, and one of them, the field goal was a short field. This defense has been tremendous basically for 4 weeks. 52. You got to just fall on that ball, my friend. You got to
Boy, could you imagine
52. We're calling them by their numbers because we have no idea who they are.
Imagine the, what was it, the 2015 defense? What was the defense that had Spagnuolo briefly? And it was like
2012. That was
2012.
Sean. That was the year Sean Payton was suspended.
Yeah.
And I know that Sean Payton was suspended in the 2012 season. Ralph and I both know that. Now you know. Sean Payton was not the coach of the Saints in 2012 because he was suspended.
Yeah, we would never not know that.
You put that defense and pair it with this offense, you would have the worst NFL team in history.
Yeah, right.
You might.
Easily. Easily. The 0-16 Lions.
Could they win a game? Could, if you combine the offense from last night and the 2012 Saints defense, could you win a game?
No. You could not. That's your answer.
But my question to you, Andrew, is the Saints, I feel like this defensive performance, if they can stay healthy, if they can they'll get guys back, the new COVID rules. Carolina, their offense might be as bad as the Saints, or maybe just slightly better than last night. Their offense is a disaster. Atlanta, yes, they lit up the Saints in the first meeting, but their offensive line struggles. I feel like this Saints defense, if you give me Davenport, Onyemata, and this Cam Jordan we've got the last 2 weeks, like they can win games because this defense can hold these last two teams to under 20 points for sure.
They just beat Tampa 9-0. What are you talking about, Dave?
You are so adorable, Ralph. It's just adorable.
Did you not watch the 9-0 win against the Bucks?
I did.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And what did the offense contribute?
Who is playing quarterback for the Saints next week against Carolina? Tell me that, Andrew. Who's playing quarterback?
No, Taysom, right? He can be back.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. You don't even know who the goddamn quarterback is going to be for the team. So don't even pretend to tell me that you know what the hell is going to happen on Sunday.
They beat the Bucks without scoring a touchdown.
Well, they did.
So I would ask you, does it matter? Does it even matter who plays quarterback?
I don't know. Look, to Ralph's point when he was talking about the defense, I will admit, I'm sure you guys all feel this way, but I am totally shocked the way the defense played. I mean, the fact that Demario Davis was out and Quan Alexander was out, like I cannot believe that they played that well. Total shock. And really a statement as far as like just how good these guys really are and just how deep they are, which is crazy.
Miami's offensive line is
there's that
dumpster fire.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to bet against Miami in a playoff game. I'm going to make so much money. But Dave, that's a great segue by you again to our next topic of Make a Wish. This is our segment where the Saints Make a Wish segment. It's back because punts feel like first downs feel like touchdowns, and touchdowns feel like winning the lottery. I think my wish for the Saints this week is really simple, and Dave just inspired me. I love this graphic. If you're not on the live stream, you should watch the live stream. Thomas created a Make I Wish graphic. He's got me as the lion. I could read. It has Kevin as the Tin Man. If I had a girlfriend, it has Dave saying he wishes he had hair, and Andrew wishing he knew football, and Gail Benson is just hanging out just cause. But my wish is for Taysom Hill to start at quarterback. Dave, do you have a wish for the Saints this week against Carolina?
I don't. I didn't know we were doing this again. It was going to be, I kind of already said it earlier. It was going to be, the opposite of you. I kind of wish Ian Book will just play another game so we can just see what he's got and just put this to bed and end it.
That's the worst wish I've ever heard.
The worst wish I've ever heard.
That is the worst joke I've ever heard.
I have another wish. I wish that people like Ralph would stop being so optimistic about getting into the playoffs.
Are you
weird that we're saying Twitter? This in 2021?
No, I am not Monadua.
Listen, man. The playoff predictor for ESPN says the Saints have a 38% chance of making the playoffs.
Oh my God.
You pry my playoff dreams from my cold, dead hand, Cariello.
I don't think I'm going to have to.
Carolina will do it for you.
Which hand, though?
Somebody.
The bad one. I'm getting therapy, Kevin. I got grip. I got grip strength of the woman yesterday. She said I have the grip strength of an 11-year-old now in my left hand.
No, she did not say that.
She did.
Well, I tell you what, man. When you get the grip strength of a 14-year-old, it's a whole new ball game.
That's right. Progress. one step
right.
at a time.
That is it's a top quality joke right there, Kevin. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of listeners are going to appreciate that as much as I
Well, I
did.
mean, I'm assuming at least 90% of our listeners are guys, so I would hope they appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Right. it- Ralph's grip strength, I guess, would be more appropriate for Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh man. Oh,
Wait.
wow.
I didn't have Jeff.
Do you have a mute button, Ralph? Can you mute Dave? Can we go like around the horn and just mute
Dave's
him?
been eating
Like a
too much
buzzer.
candy.
I can mute him.
What
Mute him, Thomas.
Oh, we got a sub.
you see that joke got us a sub.
It's Cajun Sands.
What was your grip strength before if it was an 11-year-old?
No, it's Budrich, Ralph.
It's Butteridge again. Sorry, I read the wrong thing. Thank you, Butteridge. You're
Budrich
the
gave
man.
us 100 bits.
100 bits.
All right, so wait, you didn't answer the question. So if your grip strength is an 11-year-old now, what was it before you were doing all the grip work?
Like a 7-year-old. Like, cerebral palsy, man. It's a bitch,
Yeah.
Dave. What do you want me to tell you?
By the way, you also called her this woman. I didn't know you called Sealy that. I just would have assumed you would have called her by name.
Yeah. Well, what do you want? What do you want from me?
Tots.
Tots, yeah. Andrew got a text by accident. Random text. Nah, he knows that
Oh, you did?
yeah.
Ralph called me Tots. He said, "Love you, Tots." So I was like, "Wait,
Wait,
what?"
was it supposed to be Toots and you forgot an O?
No, that's it.
Oh, you
Yeah. So
Which
Is that
funnier.
like tater tots? Is that like short for tater tots?
I can't even really remember why
Hey,
it's
Sealy,
that way.
want some tots?
This
Sealy, eat your
podcast.
tots.
What's more off the rails, this podcast or the Saints offense last night?
The Saints offense.
That
internet.
shows you I
you're-
communicate more with Andrew via text daily than my own wife. And he got the straight.
My wife.
She got the straight. Does anybody else have a wish for tomorrow?
Yes.
For
I have.
Carolina?
My wish is that Cam Newton starts and plays the game from start to finish.
My wish is that they keep giving Cam Jordan whatever Steve Rogers potion they were giving him to treat the COVID, so he might get 6 sacks on Sunday.
And people, if you wonder, a lot of people listen to this podcast audio only, so they don't get the joy. Andrew's video crapped out, and he's got Thomas has created a graphic. The Andrew has, instead of COVID, no vid. It's amazing. Thomas doing great work as always. That's why if you support the podcast, that's where the money goes.
Yeah, it goes to Warsaw.
Goes to Warsaw via Bangkok, via Russia, in some sort of money laundering scheme, catfishing scheme that Thomas is elaborately
Always put into
running.
my illegal activities.
That's gonna
Just
get us
kidding.
all, and it's gonna get me in jail for some tax law violation. I know.
The Polish mafia is gonna come for you, in some time. Right after
But
me.
if they put me in cuffs, I've got the strength of an 11-year-old now. I can get out. So here's the thing, Dave. Tell your people, because the hotline is your baby.
Oh, we're doing the hotline now? Yeah.
We're
Apparently
doing the
hotline. I haven't heard any of the things, but apparently the hotline is more disappointing than the Saints offense. So
It is more disappointing than the Saints offense. You
Jeez.
can't give us a 16, 17-minute hotline when they go in Tampa to win, and then give us 2 minutes when they lose. People, you have to stay committed to the hotline. And by the way, if you're a patron, you get the uncensored version. Everybody else that's not a patron last week, they got like 2.5 minutes of the Tampa hotline. The patrons got to listen to all 17 minutes of the post Tom Brady ass-kicking hotline in its glory. So become a patron. It's another perk. Thomas, hit that hotline. It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
Well, that was a disaster. We had some high hopes for old Book, but the guy didn't get any help. I mean, he was under duress the whole night. The defense held up for a little while, but after they realized that offense wasn't doing anything, wasn't doing a goddamn thing tonight, they were like, F it. So, I don't know, maybe half our team will come back off of COVID and we can finish up with a couple of wins against these bastard Falcons and Panthers. Who knows? Whatever. Who dat?
It's not all bad, you know. There were some positives to take away from this offense, you know, especially on third down. I thought they were really able to go.
This is tight end hater / formerly Troutman hater. Yeah, I mean, this is who we are, boys. It's just who we are. It's sad. Couldn't get shit going. Poor Book. I didn't even put this one on him when he basically has one starter on his offensive line. It's not going to be good. And no receivers and no tight ends, and here we are. Yeah, this is our season. And, yeah. Who dat?
Good morning, boys. Well, that was absolutely and completely pathetic. The NFL should be beyond embarrassed that they allowed that game to happen. Ian Book got thrown into a total shit situation that was not his fault.
I like his voice.
It was embarrassing. It's the only word I can think of, and it's not strong enough. It was completely and totally embarrassing, and I feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for his family that came to New Orleans to watch that travesty.
Yeah, his parents were in the stands.
It was embarrassing all the way around for the Saints, for the NFL, for the TV viewing audience, for the Book family. It was awful. It was god-awful. And it was just bad. It was just flat out bad.
I mean, the hotline, the farting was nice, but overall,
nice. That was definitely my favorite part.
Come on, guys.
Sometimes it's quality, not quantity, Ralph.
Yeah, I guess. Come on, we need more.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
Come on, guys. When they rip Cam Newton to shreds, do better. And if they lose against Carolina, I don't know. I'm so addicted to the playoff simulator. I'm not ready to go to detox. I'm not ready to go to rehab. So they got to beat Carolina. But Thomas, it's trivia time. Hit us with the trivia.
Okay, trivia sponsored by Budrich, as always, who's present in the chat. And he told me it's a pretty easy one. It's a pretty easy one, so you should get it just like last week you did. Who was the trivia is who was the last QB to start for the Saints as a rookie?
Oh, I know this.
Danny Werfel, right?
Yeah, it's Werfel. It's Werfel.
Boom, lock it in. Moving on.
Are you sure about that?
Next question.
I mean,
wait, was Werfel suspended his rookie year?
No. Was Aaron Brooks a rookie though?
No,
because he was with Green Bay.
That's right.
Yeah.
The answer is Danny
Werfel. How do I
Werfel.
remember that?
Boom, Danny.
Doesn't
Werfel.
look like Danny Werfel though, but I'm sticking with it.
Oh, that's Danny Werfel.
All right. That's final answer, Budridge.
Boom.
All right. Let's see if you were right. Where's my soundbite?
Danny Werfel, final answer.
There it is.
Nailed it.
Poor Danny Werfel.
Nailed it.
He got such a beating that Ditka after a game was like, yeah, we need to bench him because he might die.
How many times did he get sacked? Did he get sacked more than 8 times?
I don't think he got sacked 8 times. He got the shit kicked out of him though.
Yeah, but you know what, Dave? The second that Werfel saw a guy coming at him, it wasn't like Book in the sense that Book would try to escape, and he would try to do his thing where he would roll out. Werfel was like a deer in the headlights. When he saw a defender coming, he froze up and just got blasted.
Well, that's
And
not good.
also, Werfel, his arm strength was bad, but his release
Like an
was-
11-year-old.
Yeah, he had the release, the quarterback release of an 11-year-old. Like it was slow and plot.
Like Larry Holder bad, or what are we talking?
Yeah, pretty bad. Like because Werfel had that weird throwing motion that was like it was like a sundial to get cranked up, and he would just get blasted repeatedly.
What's the Larry Holder reference?
He threw a pass like into the ground on the.
You've never seen that video? Larry Holder posted on
it's an
Twitter.
all-timer,
Like,
Dave. Come on, man.
Come on.
No,
Dave,
I don't think I have.
What?
Come on, man.
A football? He passed a football into the
Yeah.
game?
Well, he
Why
tried
was
to.
he, why was he throwing a football?
It was like a touch football. It was like a
it's
media
like the
scrimmage.
media touch football.
It was a
Flag
media
football
scrimmage
game.
at the Greenbrier.
Thomas, see if you can pull that up within the next 10 minutes before we finish up.
So good trivia, Butters. Thanks for giving us a
Too easy.
softball. Give us. I want next week, Butteridge. I want 95 up and in. I want a hard one.
Tomas,
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure. So now, Thomas, hit the.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
Thomas, hit the take it to the top. We gotta do questions. And by the way, before you do that, we got a mailbag. We got it in the can. We're gonna play it. Me and Andrew recorded it last week. Send your questions. We get so many of them every week that we decided to use the extra ones that don't come on the big show, the live stream. That we'll use them during the week and record a podcast. We have it in the can. It'll be played later this week. So keep them coming because Thomas says we get a tremendous amount of them and they're all good. And they were. We did an entire podcast. We didn't even use half of the ones we have, but keep them
Dave
coming.
just flash his hairy belly button?
Did he?
Yeah.
I feel like Dave tries to do weird things and he knows that I'm to try to see if he can slide it by us.
All right, music.
Hey, Thomas, check your Twitter. I'm about to send you this Larry Holder video.
There's the finger gun of the 11-year-old grip.
Dave.
It's great.
To get to the top.
All right, Thomas.
It's weird not seeing Andrew.
Next question.
I'm doing the
Okay.
finger guns.
First question from Saints to Death, and Saints to Death asked 5 questions, guys.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
You only get one.
No, you get 2.
No, okay. You only get 2.
Okay, first question from Saints to Death. If books first start was a book we were forced to read in school, what would the title be?
Mein Kampf? I don't know.
Oh my God. Dave, we had
the
pre-show
Bible.
meeting
The Bible.
and we
The
said
Bible.
no Hitler jokes. That was specifically requested in the pre-show meeting. No Hitler, book burning, no jokes about Hitler. It was the one request made in the pre-show meeting, and you
failed.
First of all, that was a request to you, not to me.
It was a general request.
Nobody knew that I was possibly going to make a Nazi joke. But no, I changed it. I'm changing
You're
it
right.
to
We did not see that coming.
the Bible. It's really boring and long, and I'm just ready to end it.
I feel like that might be more offensive to some people.
I was going to say anything by Charles Dickens. I hated Charles Dickens. Like that dude, his books were terrible. So that would be like A Tale of Two Cities, Oliver Twist. Just total. Dickens is garbage, and teaching it to children is offensive. There, I said it. So, Thomas,
What's the other long one?
Which one?
I said
War and-
Mein Kampf because
War
it's
and
like long,
Peace.
because it's like long and boring. Isn't Mein Kampf like super long and like?
I don't know.
War and
Lord
Peace.
of the Rings.
War and Peace.
Oh, War and Peace. So maybe War and Peace. is
War
what I
and
was
Peace.
thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Long,
right,
long and
Thomas.
boring Lord of the Rings.
Didn't even make the right joke.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Next
Yeah.
question.
Next question. Next question comes from Bulky, and Bulky asks, if we'd had this defense during the 7 to 9 years, how many Super Bowls would we have won? And why? The answer is 3.
We talked about this before, but Kevin, how many Super Bowls would they have had?
So wait, are we talking? We're saying only the 7 and 9 years.
Yeah, only the 7 and 9.
All right, hang on. I gotta check that. So yeah, this is great. Great air I've got here.
I mean, I feel like you get it. I don't think it
I
would
feel
be.
like they go to the. With this defense, they go to the playoffs every year.
I feel like they get one. I mean, that 2015 offense was really good. You know, and 2012, I don't know.
Dude,
No.
2011. Come. Oh wait.
Well, no, the 2011 team was
yeah, that
13 and
was-
3,
yeah, that
Dave.
wasn't
We're talking
7
about
and
the
9.
7
Right,
and
right,
9
right.
seasons.
Right.
So 2012
Yeah.
and then 2014 through 2016. Honestly, I would say the 2016 team, because they were put up 469 points in the season and they had 454 scored against them. So if you reduce that by if you cut that by, well, I mean, I don't think you would get it down to half, but if you cut that to say 380, 370,
You're going 13 and 3.
yeah.
2012 though, Andrew. 2012 offense, that offense cooked. Like they didn't even have Peyton and it didn't even matter.
Yeah, but I don't think they were winning a Super Bowl that year without Peyton.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
actually wait. So I'm looking back at it again. The 2016 Saints, Drew Brees completed 70% of his passes, threw for 5,200 yards, 37 touchdowns, only 15 picks.
Wow.
Quarterback rating of 101.7.
Dude.
The Saints were running the ball with Mark Ingram and Tim Hightower of all people.
Yeah, boy.
And they had Kobe Fleener and Josh Hill at tight end. And hey, Willie Snead when we still liked him.
I would kill for any of them on the 2021 Saints. Any of them. Hightower, maybe not, but Fleener, Josh Hill, Willie Snead, all of them. I was sad when Willie Snead went to Carolina. But Kevin, I think you got the answer there. It's 2016.
We had Will Lutz too.
Oh yeah. Will Lutz, he got COVID. He was they had him with COVID list. He's hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. All right. So Thomas.
Next question.
Okay, next question. Next question comes from Jason Champagne, and he asks, if the 2021 season could be any football movie, which one would it be? We had books, now we have movies.
A football
Andrew,
movie.
which would it be? The Replacements is too hobby.
No, yeah. There you go.
Wait a minute. So we have to pick a sports movie that it is?
We have to pick
No,
a football movie.
movie.
You have to pick a football movie.
Yeah, Replacements. I don't see how there's anything that would be more appropriate than that.
No.
Let's see.
Like Unnecessary Roughness.
Unnecessary Roughness. That was a bad team. Yeah. Trying to think. Little Giants. No, it's too uplifting.
And they won in the end.
Brian's song, Because People Die. It's sad. It ends in tears. There's lots of possibility. I don't necessarily think replacements is the one, Dave. Lots of options. Any thoughts on you, Kevin?
Maybe any given Sunday because the quarterbacks keep dropping like flies.
Yeah, but they're not being replaced by a phenomenal, like a phenom.
Yeah.
And
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Ian Book is a phenom.
Yeah.
Willie Beeman's first game was also bad. Remember that.
The last Boy Scout, but they need severe violence in the last.
Yeah, we need somebody to hop on a horse. I don't know. The unnecessary roughness one kind of works because at some point we're gonna you might as well start asking guys to play Iron Man football.
Draft day because you just want it to end. No one got that joke.
I got it.
All right. So, all right, Thomas.
He didn't want it, but he got it.
Next question.
Next question from Who Dat? And Who Dat asks, how many ribs would Breeze have broken last night? And where would his funeral be held?
Andrew, do you think Drew was like texting Sean Payton today, like offended? He's like, you would have put me out there in that game yesterday. If I'd have said yes,
right.
Do you think?
I don't know about that, but I do think Breeze watched that game and was like, I can't believe I consider this for even 30 seconds.
I mean, that would have been awesome seeing Breeze come out the
slapped
tunnel.
him in the back of the head and said, see, never bring this up again.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way, Breeze is low-key terrible on Sunday Night Football. Like,
is he?
He just
ain't worse than Chris Sims, Chief.
I mean, he's bad. Like,
he ain't worse than Chris Sims.
Chris Sims is bad too. But like, Drew never says anything interesting at all.
Okay. Well, he's still got that I'm a starting quarterback for the league kind of thing going on. I mean, look, the guy, well, actually, what the hell am I saying? The guy jammed his whole entire foot up to his knee in his mouth last year or 2 years ago with the Colin Kaepernick flag stuff. So he's basically lobotomized himself. So he will never say anything. I'm not going to say never. He won't say anything controversial for the next year and a half at least.
Yeah.
Watch what happens Thursday. We're going to get emails leaked that somehow he was tied to certain events that happened last January.
Next question.
Okay, last question as promised from Saints to Death. And Saints to Death asks, have you ever seen any player less ready to play than Ian Book in a meaningful NFL game?
Did Jonathan Sullivan, Andrew, did he play in the game that he hit the buffet, the media buffet before the game? Did he play in the game?
No.
No, he was
inactive.
I'm trying to think.
That Broncos QB last year.
Chris Hinton.
That poor guy.
I mean, very similar situation. I mean, absolutely. Very comparable.
I'm trying to think of a Saint, though. Kevin, can you ever think of a Saint less prepared to play in a game?
I mean, the joke answer is Aaron Brooks. The last 2 years he was with the team, but you know.
I mean, Billy Joe Holbert, Ditka signed him on a Wednesday. He started on a Sunday and beat Carolina. So like,
well, then he clearly wasn't unprepared.
He wasn't unprepared. I'm just saying, like, Ian Book, the miracle could have happened. You know. Here's my question. I want to go around the horn, and I want to start with you, Andrew. Just make it a quick answer. Ian Book, over or under one more start as a Saint? His entire career.
Half. You should set it as half.
Half. All right, set it as half.
Under.
Dave.
Over.
Ooh, Kevin.
Over.
Let's go. I'm going to say under. But it's
You did say regular season, right?
I just say regular season.
Okay.
So like preseason doesn't count.
Okay,
So,
just good. Yeah, I still say over.
Yeah. All right. So now we got to get to predictions.
Before we go to predictions,
do we have to?
Let's go back to the trivia, maybe.
What about trivia?
About that Larry Holder.
Oh, yeah. You got the Larry Holder video?
We got some video.
Fire it up. I mean, this
God,
guy's here. I mean,
was that a wet ball or?
That's pretty bad.
Wow. Oh.
You've never seen this?
No. Wow. No.
I mean,
I can definitely throw better than that with my 11-year-old arm.
Yeah. Wow.
Definitely.
That's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Larry's been a good sport about it. Like, he knows that's...
he tweeted this video.
Yeah, right.
And he spun the ball like a pro.
He's got it like a GIF, so you can just keep watching the good part over and over and over again on the loop. He just gives you he's given us exactly what we want.
Yeah, that's right. So now we go to predictions, right? Everybody write your prediction in the chat. And Andrew will read them.
No, I will not.
No, you will not.
I can't see the chat.
I can't see.
I'm in a compromised position.
He's compromised. So
I have the Twitch pulled up.
So we got to go over the points. Thomas, who's in the lead after last week? Oh, Andrew's in the lead. Oh.
Yeah, Andrew got no points, but he's still in the lead. He has 11 points. Dave got 1 point from last week for predicting the winner. He has 9. Ralph has 9, and Kevin has 9. And Kevin actually was 1 point away from predicting the exact Dolphins score, and that would have tied him with Andrew right now.
Yeah. So the Saints, as of right now, are
which is meaningless.
10-27 on a Tuesday.
We're a 6.5 point favorite.
6.5 point favorite.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yep.
They must think everybody's coming back.
Yeah, and Carolina is terrible. Like
pound that.
Pound that for Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Pound it for the Panthers.
Yeah.
So Andrew, who you got?
Well, I think the Saints are going to get a lot of guys back. I think the CDC new guidelines that allow people to return as long as they have no symptoms within 5 days instead of 10 days is going to be huge. I think the majority of the guys that were out last week are all going to return because of that new ruling. I think it will also benefit the Panthers to some degree, who are going through their own massive COVID issues this week as well. But I think the Panthers are completely checked out. I think the Saints are pissed. They're still playing for the playoffs. They're going to play their hearts out. They're going to play their guts out. I think they're going to be better offensively. I think Taysom Hill's going to come back. I'm picking the Saints to win this one 24-3. I think it's going to be an epic defensive performance by the Saints. And my player of the game is Marquez Callaway. And Thomas, I'm going to ask you to lock that shit in.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There he is.
Wow.
Right on time with the sound. Not on
the madman.
Dave, Mr. Rain on my playoff dreams parade. Who you got?
Look, the Saints aren't in great shape, but I agree with Andrew. I think they will get some people back. And I also agree with Andrew that as bad off as the Saints are, the Panthers are even worse. Both on the field, and off the field.
Matt Rule's really getting close to getting.
Matt Rule disagrees with you. He thinks they're right on schedule.
They're like Jay-Z. He compared the Panthers to Jay-Z. He's like, it took Jay-Z 7 years to build an empire, and you got to give me time.
I'll have whatever he's smoking. That'd be great.
And some money.
Yeah. So I think the Saints are going to win, but I don't see how there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. So I think I said, what did I say? 10-3. I think I said Saints winning 10-3.
You did?
I did. I remembered that. Hot diggity dog.
Stunning.
And
Do you remember your player of the game though?
I do remember my player of the game. I had to go with somebody that I was fairly certain was going to be not healthy, but off the COVID list. Although now that I'm thinking about it, if he's not on the COVID list now, he might show up on the COVID list soon. But I went with Kamara. Let's hope. I don't know.
Man,
he
Kamara
got
being
COVID last
MVP in
year.
a 10-3 game.
You might be okay. He had COVID last year, so his antibodies are pretty good.
That was a year ago.
Just like Satan's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
CK2499 in the chat says Saints 17-10. I like that. Here's the thing. I did this pick. Thomas always gets on me because I'm doing the rundown for Thomas. He's like, you got to give me the hotline, Rob. You got to give me this. And I woke up this morning, did my hit for Channel 4, was doing the stuff for Thomas. And I was in a bad mood. And I was in a bad headspace. But I guess I got to stick with the pick because Thomas got the graphic. I think the Saints are going to crush my playoff dreams, and they're going to finish one of the worst home seasons in Saints history, probably the worst since 1980 when they didn't even win a single home game. I think Carolina's going to win 19-17, and the turd of the game. It's about time for the Saints kicking situation to rise up like herpes and remind us all that it's still there. My turd of the game is Brett Maher. Did I say that correct?
You did.
Okay, Wolverine. But so that's my pick. So Kevin, what say you? Saints 6.5.
I've picked Maher before as to be a turd of the game, and he's always come through. I gotta say, I don't think you're. I think you're gonna be wrong.
I'll be happy to be wrong. I want my
somebody's picking Maher, right?
Right, and nobody, and he's.
I want my playoff dreams to stay alive.
I know you do. I know you do.
I might do
that
the
playoff simulator is going to lose like thousands of clicks.
That's right.
If they lose.
Moss, I believe the score I had was 13-10.
You didn't make a video?
No, I did not make a video. Listen, I was driving this morning when Tomas sent me a message, and I was just like, out of hell with it. I'm not sending a video in the car. I'm just going to be aggravated while driving. I picked the Panthers to win. I think it's going to be an ugly display on the football field. 13-10, I believe, is what that says. My turd of the game is going to be Mr. Business Decision, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, boy.
We'll see. I hope Andrew's prediction seems the most fun. So,
and he locked it in.
That happened.
Wow, I picked the Saints to beat the shit out of a division rival. Wow, he's got the most fun pick.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I've picked the Saints to lose plenty this year, and I feel good about this game. I really think the Panthers are done. They're done.
I want so bad for the Saints, and I don't think they'll do it, but I want so bad for that last Falcons game to mean everything for the Saints. Like if they could play the Falcons and it could be for a playoff spot, I think it would be one of the great. It would probably be the greatest regular season experience of this podcast the week leading up to that game, the preview show Monday. It could be amazing. So I want that badly, but I think their offense is broken, but we'll see. Guys, thanks for go.
We don't
Andrew's
have a clip
dad
of the week?
says Saints 13-10. I assume that's Andrew's dad because it's Steven.
Oh, and did you do CK?
Yeah. So,
did you do CK's thing too?
Yeah. So I like it. And everybody, thanks for joining us in the chat. We appreciate everybody who joined us tonight. Thomas, tell me we have a clip of the week from last week's show because we had people crawling behind Kevin. We had CD Deuce talking about eating in the back end. Like we had a lot of quality content. Tell me we didn't
have that many clips. Like we had only 4, I think. Remember, guys, you can also make clips after the show. not only during the show. You can watch the VOD and make the clips. But Ralph, you tell me, what do you think the clip is gonna be? I think Dave is gonna guess it right.
It's got to be eating out the back end. That's what it's got to be.
You
right?
think so?
No,
that wasn't clipped at all.
What?
Well, that's disappointing. I think it's going to be the roommate. The roommate.
No.
Speaking of eating out the back end, I think it's going to be Kevin's roommate.
Man, no. I think you're forgetting one important
We're forgetting
detail
something. We're forgetting something.
From the beginning of the show.
Oh my God.
Is it the entire 2-minute opening?
No, you cannot make clips that long, man.
Play it.
Dave, you be the host tonight.
Let Dave be the host.
But Ralph still can't do anything.
I can't.
Ralph will write in
I
the
hear
chat.
it's like chaos in my headset. I hear 1,000 voices.
That's what serial killers say.
That is.
Before they kill people.
I'm gonna.
We could have kept going on that. God damn.
We
Clips
could've.
called "Is Ralph a Serial Killer?" and clip by Nick
people
Gottschalk.
that if you don't listen to
thanks,
if you don't
Dexter.
watch if you don't watch the live stream, you didn't see that. I clipped it out of the audio only version, and just when we redid it, I had significant audio issues at the start of the show. I heard everyone's audio double in my headset. And
You forgot to mute Twitch.
I forgot to mute Twitch, and it freaked me the hell out. Maybe we'll save that for a blooper reel for like the best of. But it was a cluster. It was a clusterfuck at the beginning of last show. So thanks for clipping that.
I'm glad we watched that because I forgot that I switched to a new setup so I could be closer and not as far away.
That's right.
And I haven't been doing that all show.
But thanks to everybody for joining us. Remember,
Well, this was fun.
Guys, we're gonna be on Spotify Wednesday night, 9:00. Download the Spotify Green Rabbit. We have 2 more shows of that in the regular season. We're gonna preview Carolina. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll have Dr. Thomas on. We'll talk COVID. We'll talk injuries. It'll be amazing. We're on to Carolina. It'll be great. So everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks for Dave, for Kevin, for Andrew. Thomas running the show back in Poland, the best executive producer of any podcast anywhere in the world. He did an amazing job tonight. Great job, Thomas. Remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. Until next week, the bar is closed.
Rest in power, John Madden.